Surprise, surprise, surprise. It's another video from me, Nico, for you, Reddit Casual. Well, it's time to crack out the white elitist sports, slap on a pair of horrible-looking plaid pants, grab them clubs, and head off to the golf course for a few rounds of golf. This is the Power Shots, Power Plus, whatever. Yeah, it's the golf game on the Xbox One. I downloaded the demo, and I remembered the peace and calm that one derives from golfing. Albeit sitting in Cheeto dust and in your skivvies on your damn couch, it does seem high class when you're actually playing these beautiful picturesque courses and the calming music and yeah, less rage-inducing than pretty much any other game that's out there for me right now. Anyway, so I bought the game, and here's me playing it. So there you go. Well, in any case, I wanted to talk a little bit about an experience I had this weekend, and it has nothing to do with golf, by the way, but it does have to do with Melissa McCarthy. Melissa McCarthy is the fat chick from that movie Bridesmaids. She's been in like Identity Thief and a few other movies that you've probably seen her. She's on the cover of Rolling Stone magazine this month. I think everybody knows who this chick is now, right? So yeah, she was in Mike and Molly, right? I was watching this show a few weeks ago. It's not normally a show I watch. Like, oh, Mike and Molly's coming on. It was just happened to be on the TV, and I was like working on the laptop, and so I watched this episode where Molly, sees one of her neighbors throwing away all his wife's clothes. And so she begins to get suspicious about it, right? So she thinks, oh, well, I haven't seen her in a few weeks. You know, what happened? I mean, it's the typical, storyline of it's all derivative of the Alfred Hitchcock Rear Window movie. I don't know if you've ever seen this. It's with Jimmy Stewart. And he's like, he gets laid up, breaks his legs, he's in a wheelchair, and he sits in his apartment building, looking out the window with his binoculars, and he sees what he believes to be a murder. And then the theme of the movie and the episode is featured in with that Shia LaBeouf kid, the Shia LaBeouf. I don't know how to say his name. It sounds like some sort of weird French, croissant. Shia LaBeouf, where he's in a similar kind of situation where he's a kid who's like he's grounded or he's on house arrest, and then he sees something happen at one of his neighbors. He thinks it's a murder. This is what happens to Molly in the episode, and in typical fashion, it turns out to be something. The wife died, right? He was just getting rid of her clothes because he couldn't, bear the thought of her clothes going to Goodwill or something like that. And okay, so anyway, long story short, we finish watching the episode and we're joking around that, oh hey, maybe one of our neighbors is, maybe like our neighbor Mark, who lives right next door to us, chopped up his wife, and he's putting her in the garbage bin out front. Ha ha ha, hardy har har. Well, so we got a good chuckle about it, and then we forgot about the whole thing until this Saturday night. It's past Saturday. So I'm just in the kitchen. I'm making chicken fried steak, and my wife is like sitting on the couch and chilling out. And then all of a sudden, she jumps up. And she's like, "Holy shit, get out here!" So now let me explain. Our back deck of our house kind of overlooks the back deck and driveway, obscured by some bushes of our neighbor. So I pop out on the back deck, and there's like 5 cop cars out there, and there's a cop with his gun drawn pointing at someone in my neighbor's driveway, but I can't see who it is because of the bushes. So like it's just like crazy. I've never seen anything like that on my little sleepy little street here. And so the cops are like, put down the weapon. Who else is in the house? I'm like, holy shit, this is really happening? It's kind of surreal. It's like, you don't expect that kind of shit to happen. So we hear crying and moaning on the ground in the driveway next to the garbage can.
Nice on.
Where the perpetrator is, I suppose.
For a birdie.
Except this sounds like a woman. So the cops grab the dude and haul him off to the back of the cruiser. And at first, we kind of thought that our neighbor's house was being robbed or something. But no, it turns out it's not. It was actually our 40-something neighbor dude, Mark, who's, I've met him before, is like a normal white-collar dude with a, polo shirt and, whatever. He used to be like a school teacher, he's some sort of salesman now. We've lived here for a few years, so you kind of get to know your neighbors a little bit when you've been in the same place for a little while. At least, we try to some limited extent. No, yeah. So it's him. Like I look and I see, and it's him. It's this dude. It's Mark, wearing a like a gangster, like a Raiders hat or something with with a beak that's not bent, which is weird for a guy in his 40s. I think if you're over 30, you should be bending the fucking beak on your cap, and I don't care what you say, you should. And wearing some sort of ripped up T-shirt, a gash on his forehead, blood coming down, and like, holy shit, okay. So they cuffed him, threw him in the back of the cruiser. The ambulance showed up seconds later, and then lifted who we assumed to be his wife up on a stretcher, and then hauled her off in the ambulance. I couldn't see exactly who it was, but now there's actually some disparity here on the story. Now this is all just hearsay and gossip, and I have no qualms about laying that out there to you because you don't know these people, so it's fine, I think, right? So the wife, I thought she was like this Asian gal, because I've seen her and him out on the deck, and he waves and whatever. And I've seen her get drunk and throw off the back of the deck, and it was kind of ha ha ha, chuckle. But it turns out that my wife and daughter know his wife to be some pudgy white girl in her 40s, and so it's not really, the pieces aren't fitting together here in this little love triangle, I guess. So I don't know who it was that they took away, whether or not it was the Asian mistress, we assume, or the wife. We don't know exactly, but
naturally.
Yeah, it was just kind of weird. One of those weird coincidences where you think you know what's going on in your neighborhood, and no. So we don't know if he definitely hurt her with some sort of weapon. We don't know if he stabbed a bitch. We don't know if he cut her, shanked her, shivved her, beat her with a stick. We don't know what happened. The cops asked if we heard any noises. Of course, we didn't. I didn't hear anything over the sizzling of the chicken fried steak. But yeah, so well, on the upside, I suppose, she's not hacked up in pieces sitting in the garbage can out on the curb. But anytime you have to say it's a good thing the bitch ain't chopped up, it's not a good situation. So, kind of slightly worried about what goes on. Anywhere in my street, my neighborhood, my town. And I hate to see that kind of stuff happen because I grew up with a lot of that as a kid. So, it's never good for anybody involved. Anyway. Leave you on a bummer note there, right? Wife beating and Melissa McCarthy. There you have it. Enjoy some golf. Play this game. I'm thinking of getting together a little tournament. Let me know if anyone plays this game and wants to maybe put up a couple of bucks and do something fun. All right. Later. Peace out, Nico.
Well, hot diggity. Woo, I'm raising a ruckus.
Sharp approach. For par.
Acceptable, but don't take it for granted.
Pa.
Yeah!